A nationwide survey has brought up an interesting finding regarding infant mortality rate in India. Do you think this question has an error? Most of you have come back and said 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Really? A nationwide survey has brought up an interesting finding regarding infant mortality rate in India. But because most of you said option 2, right? Interesting finding. What's wrong with interesting finding? Do you think finding is not a noun? Guys, finding is a noun. FYI. Finding means what here? In the context, what does it mean? It's a discovery. Right? If somebody says, this has been an extraordinary finding, what they mean is this has been an extraordinary discovery. So that's the meaning that the context is giving, right? As per word class, it's the right form. It's a noun. Interesting is the adjective describing the finding, which is the discovery. A nationwide survey has brought up an interesting finding regarding what? Infant mortality rate in India. So I don't find anything wrong with option part 2 and part 3, right? But the part where I find a problem is with, most of you immediately come back and say no error, no error, no error, but there is an error. Okay, let me do this, okay? I will give you a clue. There is an error in part 1. Find what the error is. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 words. Where do you think the error is? Somebody can be interested in finding something, okay? And I want you to pay, it's a noun phrase, Baba, altogether. An interesting finding. Just to give you guys clarity, okay? An interesting finding is a noun phrase, right? A noun phrase has an article and sometimes it will have an adjective describing the noun, and finding is my noun, which is the discovery. So, as an expression, this is absolutely fine. It is a noun phrase. Okay? So, yes, Anand Kumar, thank you. What is wrong with that word? Brought up. What is wrong with that? This is my phrasal verb, no? The survey has phrasal verb. It says brought up something. That something is the interesting finding. So, the noun phrase is correct. Right? It is not saying that the survey can't be interested in finding something. That doesn't make logical sense, right? A person has to be interested in finding something. Whoever said interested in finding, right? Now, what is the meaning of brought up as a phrasal verb? To bring up somebody means to take care of them, no? I brought, my grandfather brought up all of our, all of my cousins. We are 10 in number. That makes sense. But here, what is this saying? What is the meaning I need in part A? A survey, it brought in. Think. Will you say brought up? Or what will you say? Okay, I will give you the meaning. You tell me the phrasal verb, okay? Yes, born and brought up in. Yeah, so it can't be brought up, no, in the context. A nationwide survey has basically exposed something to us, which is the interesting finding. So think of a phrasal verb which brings in the meaning of exposed, brought to light. What phrasal verb will you use? Very simple. Just instead of up, what preposition can I add or what adverb can I add to brought, which will bring in the meaning of exposed or, made known? Brought out. That's my answer. Right? It's an incorrect phrasal verb in part A. Let's go back to the context. It is not brought up, it is brought out, which means it made known. The survey exposed the interesting finding. The survey made known the interesting finding. Right? It's a phrasal verb error. It is not brought out. It is not brought up, it is brought out. Okay, super. Next. So a nationwide survey has brought out an interesting survey, has exposed it, has made known. Clear? The finding is about infant mortality rate in India. Khatam ho gaya. As soon as I will reach Patna, I will send you the books you have asked for. As you read it only, you know where the error is. Tell me where the error is fast. Let's finish this. So basically, it's almost like a conditional statement, right? There's a how do I know it's a conditional statement? It says as soon as I. So I will be able to send you the books only once I reach Patna. So in a conditional clause, obviously I can't have future in both the clauses, right? Because the first clause is I have to reach Patna, boss. Then as soon as I do that, then I will read this. Yeah. So as soon as I reach Patna, I will send you the books. This is an easy one. Part A is where the error is. Very obvious. One of my good qualities is that I do not take things like this very seriously. I don't know if that's a good quality or a bad quality, but let's look at this. One of my good qualities is that I do not take things like this very seriously. Where is the error? Yeah, so a lot of you are coming back and giving me option 1 saying noun number error, which is correct because my clue is one of my, which means one of many, right? One of my good qualities, yes, right? Because we know that. So this is a noun number error. It's just in terms of context. You know, you asked me for something and I'm going to give it to you, right? So whatever you asked for, I'm going to hand that over to you. That's what it means. So these are not phrasal verbs. It just completes meaning of the context that you're referring to. That's about it. It seems like it's addressing something specific, but it's about the survey talking about this particular concept, right? Even if you don't write the, grammatically it still makes sense. Infant is correct as it is. You don't have to put the in front of infant because it's understood. That's the only thing that is mentioned there in the context. So I don't think you have to add the definite article there. Not required. So this we've established the fact that quality becomes qualities, noun number error, one of my being the clue phrase. A housing society comprises of 8 blocks and 48 flats in an area of about 1000 square meters. Where is the answer? So basically I have 1, 2, 3, all parts. The area is not specific, they've just given the dimensions of an area. So it can be any area. In an area, some area which has 1000 square meters, right? They're being generic, not specific. So in an area of about 1000, so they're saying a housing society comprises 8 blocks and 48 flats in an area, right? Equivalent to an area that has 1000 square meters. So that is fine. You don't have to say in the area. Not required. But some of you are saying no error and all, which is incorrect. The error is in part A. This is to do with comprises. Comprises itself means consists of, right? So of as a preposition after comprises is redundant in meaning. We don't need that. Superfluous in meaning. So the error is in part 1. We delete of. Right? This is something, this is not a new error. We've looked at this error multiple times in the past, which means you just need to practice it more, right? To register, retain. As soon as you read the context, that is the most obvious error. You don't even have to scratch your head to find an error. That is the error right there. It being a pleasant morning, I decided to go out and walking in the garden. Again, here, as soon as you read the question, you know, right? This is the part that sounds awkward. This is the part that sounds funny. Which part is that? So, those of you who came back and said part 1, there's nothing wrong with part 1. It being a pleasant morning, right? I decided to go out. Not on walking in the garden, right? As soon as you read the sentence, you know, part 3 is so weird. It has to be to go out for a walk. That's it. For a walk in the garden. No, not every time you don't see me, I'm eating, but I found ways. So the error is in part 3, okay. Go out for a walk. That's it, for a walk in the garden. Done. Not for walking.